Across the country, ordinary Americans from all walks of life are taking whatever measures necessary to prepare.
My family is preparing for a biological terrorist attack. For the New Madrid earthquake.
For a series of F5 tornadoes.
And protect themselves.
Watch it, Kim. Push him away, push him away. Stop right there!
From what they perceive as the fast-approaching end of the world as we know it.
Dad!
Next, we go inside the lives of two committed preppers who have devised extensive plans.
So every turkey and chicken nugget that we eat comes from a real bird.
Gone to great lengths.
This is ridiculous. Are you sure we're needing something like this?
And made huge personal sacrifices to ensure their very survival.
It is good. It's crunchy.
The experts will assess their preps to see if they have what it takes to survive.
Let's go! Hurry, go!
This is Doomsday Preppers.
I think there's a general misconception about what's really going on in the world and what's going on in the United States. People are somewhat naive to the dangers that we face and the tough times ahead that we have.
Over the past 3 years, it's gotten more clear. The economy looks like it's going downhill.
The government continues to not disclose a lot of information to the people.
Unemployment has skyrocketed.
When people get desperate, they'll do desperate things.
Our children are old enough, to see the news, to hear about, the awful things that happen.
The signs and the signals are already there.
And that's just really starting to scare us at this point.
We're preparing for an economic collapse which will lead to Armageddon. I realized that we would be on a fast track to an economic collapse because of the massive spending. Seeing the uprising in the Middle Eastern countries, such as Syria, Egypt, those types of places, I knew that there would be mass chaos occurring, which could happen here as well.
3 years ago, Brad and Crystal, who live in a suburb of Tulsa, Oklahoma, with sons Carson and Braden, and daughter Haley, decided the economy is on the verge of collapse. But unlike most Americans, they combat that fear with thousands of cans, years' worth of sanitary supplies, semi-automatic weapons, 10 security cameras covering every inch of their property, and bulletproof vests for everyone in the family.
That size is probably just a little bit too big. You're probably gonna need a medium.
All totaling more than $70,000.
Is it really necessary that we have all of these cameras?
If everything happens and the world starts going crazy, it's very important.
We have to shoot some bad guys with our own guns, right?
If it comes to that, that's the idea.
13-year-old Braden and 14-year-old Haley already go to the shooting range once a month. Now that Brad and Crystal's youngest son, Carson, has turned 6, they feel the time has come for him to join his older siblings. So today, they're taking him to the U.S. Shooting Academy to get instruction from its director of training, Steve Arian.
I have a 6-year-old daughter. That's something that I necessarily have introduced her to as far as, hey, these things are daddy's tools. We don't play with them. They're dangerous. They can hurt people. She understands that, but I haven't brought her out to the range to shoot yet. Up! I don't feel that she's at that age. And every child is different, and you make the judgment call yourself.
Don't put your finger on the
Down towards
trigger.
the ground.
Just
Down
like that.
lower.
Like that. Keep it just like that. No.
No.
Remember laser rule, don't let the laser touch
down.
you.
Like it has a
See your
laser
shadow.
coming out of it.
Right there.
When they arrived and I saw that some of the weapons were loaded, it kind of concerned me because it breaks some of our most basic fundamental of safety rules. Let's go ahead and get on the range. I've got a .22 pistol here, and I want to specifically bring this up for you guys, for the kids. So go ahead and grab it with this hand, dude. Good. And handguns we got to be careful with because they're real small, and they tend to get wielded in different directions, and they can cause a lot of injury. I actually had a buddy of mine shoot me one time with a .22. It didn't feel very good. We're gonna keep this finger right here, okay? And then this hand's gonna be right there. That looks good.
Like this?
Yep, you're a shooter, I can tell. And you're gonna lean forward like this. There you go. So I want your shoulders to be over your knees and your nose to be over your toes. I want you to aim down range and slowly pull the trigger. We'll fire one shot. Look at that. Now look at this.
Hit it.
Yeah, you're fine. Good job.
When he's not on training expeditions with his kids, Brad spends 2 hours a day inspecting his preps and another 2 to 4 hours daily ordering new items.
I wouldn't consider myself obsessed with prepping. I would say that I've done the minimal amount.
But in the last year, the sheer volume of supplies Brad's been stocking in their 5-room, 2,000 square foot house has started to crowd out everyday life.
We're definitely running out of space. My room has been taken over. I have to crawl across my husband's bed to get to my side. Our office is crazy.
We have room for all this stuff? I think it's pretty much taken over your desk. So what are those suits supposed to be for? This is ridiculous. Are you sure we're needing something like this?
Well, if you had to go out and find resources or go out and hunt for food or something like that and wanted to stay concealed, that's what you'd have to wear. You would blend in well.
I suppose.
To deal with their growing storage problem, instead of scaling back, Brad thinks the solution is to buy one more gigantic prep.
Well, I've been looking at the bunkers and stuff online, so I think if we can get one big enough, we could actually have just a storage area in it, so that way we could start moving all the stuff that's taking up all the rooms in the house and stuff, move it out into the bunker.
An underground bunker has long been the holy grail in Brad and Crystal's prepping. They've spent years talking about it, saving for it, and making personal sacrifices to ensure their doomsday dream becomes a reality.
I gave up pursuing my pilot's license and also sold our camping trailer, basically to be able to afford it.
We don't take extravagant vacations anymore.
The situation has become so dire that we have decided to hold off on expanding our family. We would not want for her to be pregnant in a bunker.
It's just really hard. It's been a long, hard decision to not pursue that. But we look at the fact that if, we have to go into the bunker, I've had my first son C-section, so my next one would have to have a C-section at that point.
Without the medical attention that she would need in the bunker, she would probably not make it.
Brad's come to the decision better than I have, so. I am such a baby.
I don't really know what she thinks. I think she really just thinks that something's gonna happen, but then it's like she doesn't know something's gonna happen. This bunker thing kind of seems stupid.
Well, you realize why we're doing it, right? We're getting the bunker so you guys don't have to see that mean side or that evil, because you guys shouldn't have to witness any of that. So going to the bunker is a way to escape murders and rapes and all the things that happen.
I think being in the bunker for a really long time would be really hard to do. I mean, it'd be weird. I don't know that we could do it.
Me and Haley may have to go and have a serious talk as to the things that could happen to her, or even to me being the women. When the economic collapse comes, I'm afraid that the men will get desperate. Men will go to any lengths to get what they want, as far as women hurting them, raping them, and I'm just afraid for my 14-year-old daughter, for her to have to go through anything like that. And as far as my boys, if they were eating, that somebody would come and beat them for the can of green beans that they would have, or the corn. And that scares me to death, because they're my entire world, and if something was to happen to them, I would just lose myself.
Before Crystal and Brad make the biggest purchase of their prepper lives, they need to find a bunker builder they can trust.
This is Clyde, Rising S Company.
Hey, Clyde. I was calling about the fallout shelters. There's 5 of us in my family. We'd like to have something, that would actually be comfortable for, long term.
I think I have a unit here, a 10 by 30 that would be perfect, just what y'all would be looking for.
Once you talk it over with your family and
let me know when y'all think y'all can make the trip to Texas.
Okay, sounds good.
Being a prepper, a lot of times you get mistaken for someone that has lots of guns and ammo and weapons. Well, that's not what we try to do.
After the terrorist attacks of September 11th, Clyde got the idea to build a subterranean bunker to protect his wife and 8 kids. Then he founded what might be the country's first all-prepper bunker building company.
To be employed here, you must be a prepper. 'Cause there's lots of customers and clients that we have that purchase bunkers that are leery that someone involved with the location of their bunker, that person not being a prepper, it's kind of scary. Because if someone doesn't have their own preps and they know where yours are at, they're going to come get them in a doomsday scenario. We've got a great country, but we know that something's coming for America. That's going to be the restart button for America.
Best bet's to hide.
That's right. It's exactly right. Be the rabbit in the hole.
Yep.
Go underground. You stay alive. Your family's safe. You eat good because you're a prepper. That's the reason we do what we do at this company.
To ensure both employee and client safety, all of Clyde's workers are required to have their own preps and to dedicate overtime to building an unusual new office, one that will double as a bunker for employees and their families in the event they can't make it to their own bug-out locations.
That's going to be good there, Brad.
Even Clyde's youngest employee, his 17-year-old son, Jagger, is expected to get involved.
I don't think that much about the end of the world. I mean, I have a lot of hobbies like rodeoing and playing sports and hanging out with friends.
I think as a 17-year-old, he's thinking more about girls instead of underground bunkers. That's understandable, but we got to get him in the right direction. But it's not something you can really just pick up overnight. You really got to live it.
Clyde also requires all his employees master one skill he thinks they'll need to make it to their bunkers alive should doomsday come.
Part of the preps here at our company is having horsemanship skills for a doomsday situation.
Today, he insists Jagger learn how to select a good horse for a bug-out.
I don't see nothing about this horse good. What makes you think she's gonna be the good doomsday horse?
She's pretty.
Pretty ain't gonna get it. Good luck. Grab your rope before you get on, because I don't think she's gonna do that good, buddy. You're sitting on your rein. You got your rope set? Think she's good? You don't think she's gonna buck or nothing? You good? Let's see her ride. Yep. Told you don't ride that one. Watch that gate will pop open. Oh. Jagger picked a really pretty horse. It was a black horse. It was a mare. There were some key features about her that I didn't like. You can tell this horse got stickers in her hair. Hooves are really bad. That's why I told you not to pick her. In a doomsday situation, if you'd have broke your leg or something like that, or a foot, how would you have got out of harm's way? You couldn't have. You'd have been left behind.
Yes, sir.
You okay?
Just hurt my hand a little.
Okay. Well, we need to find you another horse.
Picked the horse because I guess it was pretty, it was fat. I mean, I thought it would have been a good pick, but turns out it was bad. I should have listened to my father's decision.
For now, Clyde's team's own prepping is being put on hold while they focus on building their new bunker business. But when the one they want to sell to Brad and Crystal tops out at 19,000 pounds, the job will push these bunker builders to the edge of disaster. Crystal and Brad are afraid social chaos will break out should the economy collapse entirely, so they're about to buy a bunker. But their 3 children don't realize all their parents' talk about living underground is about to become a reality. Or that the family vacation they've been told they're taking is really to visit a bunker company and pick out their new doomsday home.
Dad, are you kidding me? No, this is not what I wanted for my family vacation. Not at all.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I love everything.
Really? This is
Fun. Don't you think that looks awesome?
Clyde? Awesome. Hey, what's going on? What do you think?
Looks good.
Awesome.
Yep. It's weird. Like, how do you live in this thing?
Just wait till we're inside. It's got full living area. It's got beds, kitchen, everything.
Will I get cell phone service?
No.
Probably not.
How much years can we live in it?
You can live in that thing for a long time until you're grown up. Yep.
Yay!
You know, if it's a doomsday situation, then you would probably rather be living in this than you have to be living under a bridge.
Yeah, that would suck.
All right, let's go look at the inside, and maybe that'll change your mind. Watch your back, watch your head going in there.
Come on, Carson.
Here, let me help you on
Braden.
there.
What do you think? Ooh. Is it pretty awesome? You don't like it?
What the heck?
Got a closet up here, got some shelving on top. Got the ladders, got the round pipe on the ladder, so figure you'd be barefooted most of the time when you're sleeping, you know, so you can climb up it without really hurting yourself.
How are we gonna have a TV in here? Xbox and stuff.
There won't be no Xbox and TV in here.
Really?
Yep. You'll just have to play board games and cards.
That's dumb.
Once this thing goes underground and it's down 10 feet like it's gonna be, everything changes.
Lose track of night, day,
That's
rain.
Right. That's right. You won't hear it when it rains. You can't hear the wind blowing. You can't hear birds, nothing. It's just complete silence.
It's like a life of darkness.
It's like a life of darkness.
I feel very confident with going forward with the next step as we saw it, as far as prepping to get a bunker and be able to keep, you know, my family safe. Obviously, Haley, being a girl, is not quite as impressed with it. She would probably prefer to be laying out at the pool than being 10 feet underground without any electronics or anything fun to do.
I guess I'll see you in Oklahoma in the next few days for the install.
Brad and Crystal are satisfied with the 10 by 30 foot, $50,000 unit Clyde showed them. So Clyde's team is diving into work right away to get the bunker ready to go.
Run this continuous piece all the way down against that back wall where the sink and stuff is.
I think it's still a lot for them to take in then.
Yeah. But as long as we know that we have them protected and taken care of.
1, 2, 3. You better watch your nose.
When it's all said and done, Brad's bunker weighs 19,000 pounds. It takes high tensile strength industrial chains just to lift it onto the flatbed for transport.
Raising the bunker, chain broke, evidently too much weight. Came back, slapped Clyde's arm, it definitely broke on.
When a bad link in the chain gave way, it snapped and whipped toward Clyde, cracking into his arm as he stood behind the cab of the truck.
Things could have went really wrong really quick. I mean, if it would have hit him, you know, in the head, it could have killed him.
Terry, you can see the knife there.
I think you need to go to the hospital right now, honestly. You're gonna get a cast on it. I love you.
Love you too.
Clyde was supposed to be on the road with Brad's bunker an hour ago. But Clyde will never say die. Come hell or high water, he insists on finishing the job.
We're gonna get this loaded because I'm gonna see it through. I'm not gonna let this here beat me.
But when Clyde finds himself in the same situation a second time, it may put this bunker builder out of commission for good. Brad and Clyde are both preppers, determined to save their families from social unrest. Brad fears economic collapse and wants a bunker to hide his family in. And Clyde has one to sell him. But as Clyde was loading Brad's 19,000-pound bunker for delivery, the unexpected happened. And he was forced into an unforeseen detour.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to cowboy up. You got to make sacrifices to do your job, and this is one of them occasions.
Even with one arm incapacitated, Clyde is determined to get Brad's bunker to him before nightfall. So after a stop at the emergency room, he's pressing on toward Oklahoma. After years of planning, weeks of deliberation, and days of waiting, Brad's family has all gathered together to see their new bunker delivered.
Done, Brad.
Good, how are you?
We made it.
Yep.
We made it. There was some setbacks you wasn't aware of, but we had a schedule we had to stick by. I want to make sure to see this through to the end.
And what's the process going to be?
We got to come over this fence behind me. We're going to have to take this bunker, lift it up over the fence, over the trees, swing it around, miss the pull, and get it into this hole. Check everything twice. Because if it falls at 30 feet, it's going to be a big bang.
Pretty awesome. What do you think?
Looks good.
Train it up, Gary.
I've noticed a few people stopping on the road out there and taking some pictures.
I've seen a car drive by 5 different times. Turn around and come back, and pretty sure it'll be the talk of the block for a while.
Let her down.
Good level, Brad.
Perfect.
What do you think?
It's cool.
It'll be completely finished for you to go into it tonight. That way the lights will be working. Everything will be good to go.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, man. Y'all be safe now.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
I know that the kids will not be excited about having to live in a bunker in a doomsday scenario.
Go, go, go!
But I will definitely feel better knowing that I've provided for them a safe shelter out of harm's way.
Let's go, let's go!
Hurry, hurry!
As a mother, my kids are my entire world.
Careful, careful!
And I would go to the end of the earth. I would do anything to keep them safe and out of harm's way, no matter the cost.
The leaders of our country are preparing. They're preppers. You just don't know it. They have bunkers, lots of bunkers, lots of food supply, special cooks, doctors. They even have lawyers. So just for you getting a bunker, that makes you crazy? Why shouldn't you be prepared?
Brad, the experts practical preppers, have assessed your preps and commend you for investing in a reliable shelter for your family. However, you should be storing water for both your house and bunker, and obtain a portable water filter as well.
We do have several lakes close by, so I do see the need for that.
To determine how long you could initially survive a catastrophe, Practical Preppers has scored your preps in 5 categories of 20 points each, for a total possible score of 100. Food, 11 out of 20 points. Water, 5 out of 20 points. Shelter, 14 out of 20 points. Security, 9 out of 20 points. In addition, for having the foresight to acclimate your family to life in the bunker before disaster strikes, you receive 10 X Factor points. Overall, you get 49 out of 100 points. You have 4 months initial survival time.
I would completely disagree with the experts. I think that we've went above and beyond to do as much as we can in the amount of time that we've done it.
We're spending the next 24 hours in here.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Yep, sleepover.
Oh, come on!
Kevin Barber's 3 young children used to live the American dream in the heart of the Midwest. But not anymore. They're bugging out, but they're not just being forced to give up their home, friends, family, and their toys. they're losing their entire country because the Barbers are abandoning America and bugging out to foreign lands.
Muy bien.
But when push comes to shove, learning how to become international preppers may prove to be more than 3 little kids can handle.
How's work?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm a pretty normal guy. I live in suburban Kansas, never lived more than 30 minutes from where I'm at right now. I have a car payment and a house payment and a gas bill, water bill, electric bill, food bill, daycare bill, school bill, and everything else. And, you know, that's a problem. When you have children, I believe that there's a transition in a man's brain that says it's time to protect my house and provide for the welfare of my children. And I think you become interested in taking a role and setting up your own future. If you look at America, every problem we have, we try to fix with a credit card. The government keeps swiping that credit card as it keeps racking up. And at some point, our creditors are going to rise up and go, you know what? We're canceling the card. And that's going to lead to the end of America.
Kevin Barber believes that his suburban American dream will soon turn into a nightmare due to a pending economic collapse. But he's doing more than just going off the grid. He's pulling up roots and turning his back on suburbia to take his family someplace no doomsday prepper has ever gone before.
We're moving to Costa Rica to escape America's economic collapse.
When most preppers bug out, they head for other parts of the U.S. they think will be safe. But Kevin believes that the looming economic catastrophe he fears will leave the entire nation devastated and dangerous. So despite living his entire life in his hometown, Kevin is selling the family home and leaving not just Kansas, but all of America behind.
We decided the best thing to do for our family to thrive in good times and in bad times is to pack up and move to Costa Rica.
Kevin believes that by relocating his family to the jungles of Costa Rica, he's putting them in the best position to survive the coming financial ruin he fears.
When economic collapse does happen in America, it's actually going to be worldwide. And one of the reasons we chose Costa Rica is because the typical Costa Rican doesn't have as far to fall. They grow their own food, they create their own power, they use their own resources, and it's a lot of people that are used to living a simple life. They don't pass a whole lot of laws, and they don't mess with people very much. I wish I could say the same thing about America, but I can't, and that's influenced our decision to move.
Good job. With just weeks until moving day, it's a hectic time for Kevin and his wife, Christy, son, Donovan, and twin daughters, Ashley and Aubrey. Today, the family is packing all their belongings and preps into a 40-foot shipping container.
In moving our family to Costa Rica, we basically had 2 options. We could either leave everything behind, sell our belongings, and land with just a few suitcases, or we could take a shipping container and ship all the things we've spent years collecting to Costa Rica to jumpstart our new life. Are you all ready to pack?
Kevin's shipping container gives him only 2,400 cubic feet to fit everything he feels they'll need to survive in Costa Rica.
All right. Box number plancha. Didn't expire it.
First to go in are the essentials.
I've got box 22.
They're bringing 1 year's worth of food, but no water.
Box 14.
Got it.
To ensure they'll be able to live completely off the grid, Kevin's also bringing a solar array and a backup generator.
Is that one too heavy? Okay.
He's also arranged to have all his firearms legally imported into Costa Rica.
So I've been talking with attorneys on the best way to import weapons into Costa Rica.
How many and which ones are we taking?
We have a shotgun, small caliber rifle, AR-15, and hunting rifle to 270. Once our background check and paperwork is lined up, we'll basically pack them up and we ship them down. Living a self-sufficient life isn't just about buying gear. It's about acquiring a lot of skills. So something that's really important to me is to learn everything we need to learn and practice everything we need to practice so that we can live that self-sufficient lifestyle in Costa Rica.
Starting today, Kevin plans to put his children through a prepping boot camp to prepare them for their new life in Costa Rica.
Hey, are you guys ready for your Spanish lesson?
Yep.
One radical thing about Costa Rica for us is that they speak a whole different language that we don't. So we're gonna need to learn Spanish as soon as possible. Yep. I brought together a Spanish tutor. Se llama Lorena. Can everyone say hola, Lorena?
Hola. ¿Cómo están?
Kevin believes his children will be able to adapt to speaking Spanish quickly.
Gracias.
But it's their ability to adapt to another situation they may face in Costa Rica that he fears could be the difference between life
Mom!
and death. Kevin Barber believes that the United States is on the verge of a crippling economic collapse. So he's planning to get out of Dodge and move his entire family 3,000 miles away to Costa Rica.
I'm not the kind of guy that's going to sit around and read a bunch of doom and gloom and just complain about it. I'm the kind of guy that's going to find something to do about it.
Kevin only has weeks left to get his family prepared for the challenges he believes they'll face in a foreign land. Since 46% of Costa Rica is made up of forests, today Kevin is putting his kids through a real-life hide-and-seek scenario. They are lost in the forest and must figure out how to survive.
I invited over Joe Fox from Viking Preparedness, an instructor with 20 years experience as Army Special Forces. He's just the guy to show my kids how to not get lost in the forest.
Mom, Dad, where are you?
Come on! Hey, sometimes when you're out there lost, you don't have anything. It can be pretty scary, right? When we realize we're lost, it's like, I don't know where Mommy is, I don't know where Daddy is. We want to sit down and stop what we're doing. Why do you think we want to stop walking, Donovan?
Because if you just keep running around, you're gonna get exhausted.
These are yours.
Kevin wants his kids to carry bug-out bags with enough supplies to survive 3 days in the jungle. But to conserve energy, experts say bug-out bags shouldn't be heavier than 25% of one's body weight. For the girls, this is only about 7.5 pounds. So Joe's giving the children kid-friendly bug-out bags stocked with lightweight preps.
You carried this bag all the way out here in the woods, so let's see what you got in there. Very good. Then take your fingers out, and then what do we do?
Listen.
What are we listening for?
Help.
That's right. You're listening for people saying, come help. Donovan, do you have a hole in there somewhere?
Yeah, right here.
So put that so your face is through the hole. Just your face and leave it on like a hat. You want to try this thing? Well, this is kind of survival dress-up.
I don't want survival dress-up. I don't like those.
When watching my children doing the drill of being lost, I really saw that there's quite a few things that we can still work on. Donovan knows some of the right things to do should he be lost. So with continued practice, I think he'll be in good shape.
If I was to get lost in the woods with my sisters, I'm the big brother, so that means I have to keep my sisters warm and safe.
My daughters,
There's a boat right there.
we're gonna keep working with them as they turn 5 and 6 and older so that they can continually improve.
As moving day draws nearer, the Barbers are forced to say goodbye to close friends and family.
Moving to Costa Rica is gonna be hardest on Grandma. She's not gonna see the kids near as often as she gets to today. You know, we're not thrilled about that, but at the same time, we need to not be focusing on obstacles that prevent us from being self-reliant. We need to be focusing on the ways that we can make the best choices for the long term.
Wow, it's really going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, good to see you. By showing my mom the types of things that we're training for Costa Rica, my hope is that she'll accept our move even if she doesn't agree with it. And even though she'll miss us, she'll know we'll be successful in Costa Rica.
Hey, Aubrey, my hug.
Kevin believes living off the land will play a large role in surviving an economic collapse. but he's not sure what that might entail in Costa Rica, especially if Doomsday follows them there. So, to help prepare his family, Kevin has brought in Marjorie Wildcraft, an expert in sustainable living.
So when you get to Costa Rica, there's going to be a whole lot of foods that you've never tried before. And I got some today, the really special ones. These guys are called mealyworms.
Oh, I do not like this. Are we going to eat it?
Do you want to eat it?
No. No.
Ashley, do you want to touch it?
No, I did not.
You want to put it in your hand?
No. Can you put one in my hand? Oh, you can.
It must have tickled you.
Now, actually, where you're going to go live in Costa Rica is in the tropics, and insects grow really big there. It really is a viable food source. Next, we have...
Oh, the cookies. They're my favorite.
People eat these all over the world. This is a very common food source almost everywhere else other than the United States and Europe. In fact, the United Nations, they're looking at developing this as a food source because it's getting harder and harder for us to grow enough beef for everybody to eat. The next ones are the most delicious. We're gonna wanna be real careful with this one, okay?
Yes. Oh, scorpion. It's bigger.
We're gonna cook these up and you'll get to try them.
I don't want to eat them.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Now, for the mealyworms, we're just gonna put them in the pan with a little bit of butter. They're not gonna be happy about it. See, look at them jumping around. Now, they're little tiny things, so they cook real quickly. Look at there, they're almost popping like popcorn, huh?
Whoa, they're popping and jumping.
There's a lot of really good protein and fat in these guys. And when you're self-sufficient in growing your own food, fat is actually very difficult to grow.
Fully cooked, right?
They're fully cooked.
Oh, are you sure? Did it move?
No, it didn't move.
Okay.
Those are good and dead.
Never mind.
Oh.
It is good. It's crunchy.
Good, please.
You want to try one?
I do not want to try them.
These guys in here.
That's too good.
Pop it in your mouth, Mia.
Can I try? They're great. Austin, Aubrey, you should try this.
You think it'll be tasty?
Yeah?
Do you want to try it?
No, I do not want to try it.
Slimy, yet satisfying.
Just for handling purposes, I'm gonna put them
Donovan, you need
into
to
some
come
hot
back.
water. Bon voyage. In the cooking, the toxins in the tail have been neutralized, but there still is a barb, so we'll cut it off just so that it doesn't get in somebody's tongue or something like that. This guy's got a lot of crunch to it. It's like a shrimp or a crab, you know, kind of.
Grandma's gonna take a bite.
Weird.
You don't like the scorpion, huh? You're a mealyworm woman.
Yeah.
What's neat is that we have a couple of years worth of food before we ever really have to worry about eating insects.
Exactly. But at least it's an option. At least, you know.
Absolutely.
And in Costa Rica, it's a huge option year-round.
Living off the land in Costa Rica will involve more than just eating bugs. So Marjorie has brought the children one final lesson in sustainable living. But when the kids see what she has in the box and what their father plans to do to it, they may never be the same again. Kevin Barber is about to move his entire family from the comforts of suburban Kansas to the jungles of Costa Rica to escape the devastating economic collapse he fears is on the horizon. Today, Kevin has brought in experts to teach his family necessary skills that he feels they'll soon need to survive in Costa Rica.
Even though I live in Kansas, I'm actually not that experienced in growing my own food or butchering animals, and that's something that I need to get a lot of training on for my move to Costa Rica.
So, Kevin, are you going to help me with this?
Absolutely. I think it's important that our kids understand exactly how our food works and where our food comes from.
So, Kevin, what you're going to be doing is holding her neck down here.
Yep. No worries.
And then taking a knife and just cutting the throat there.
Okay. Okay, so every turkey and chicken nugget that we eat comes from a real bird. Okay? Ready?
Okay. Just go in there and make a real good quick. There you go. That's good.
It's just sad. Sad. Sad killing a turkey. Because, like, they just want a normal life. They don't want a life where they get murdered.
Okay, so this is what happens when you butcher a turkey. It's the first step, and the next step is to skin the bird, and then we'll clean it out, and then we can put it in the oven.
What we're going to do first is just start cutting along the edge here to loosen the skin.
So far?
There you go, yeah. And now you're just going to pull that skin off. Actually, pulling it is better than using a knife. It'll become more cleaner. One of the great things about home butchering and doing your own rabbits and chickens and turkeys like this is that you can butcher it, cook it, process it, eat it, and never have to have refrigeration. You just want to make sure that you don't see anything really strange about the liver, that maybe worms in it or scarring or really severe discoloration or gray. And in that case, you'd be really suspect about the whole meat.
It's really gross.
And we'll also just cut.
I do think that this was probably difficult for my kids to watch, especially for the first time. But, you know, I think that was a great learning experience for our family. And I hope that after doing this, my kids will respect, you know, the value and the work and, you know, the animals that go into what we eat every day.
Yummy.
I don't want to eat it.
You can just look at it.
You know, I think you get a lot more out of it when you see all the work that goes into, you know, preparing your own foods from scratch. Literally. Shouldn't have to try it.
All right.
With the container loaded and their possessions bound for Costa Rica, the family's move is finally a reality. And it's time for Kevin's mother to say goodbye.
I almost just trying to remember that as much as I don't want you to move away, I have a cool vacation to look forward to.
Love you, Mom.
I miss you, Grandma. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. Yep.
Good luck. Bye, Grandma. See you in a couple months.
Kevin, the experts at Practical Preppers have reviewed your preps. Your willingness to move your family to a more sustainable lifestyle is commendable. However, since you are not bringing water, you should start a rain catchment system when you arrive and learn purification methods.
I absolutely agree with that. Rainwater catchment is going to be vital in Costa Rica. It rains over 80 inches a year where we'll be.
To determine how long you could initially survive a catastrophe, Practical Preppers has scored your preps in 5 categories of 20 points each, for a total possible score of 100. Food. You will need to develop a resupply plan for your new home, 14 out of 20 points. Water, 14 out of 20 points. Shelter, 11 out of 20 points. Security. You need more firearms training, 9 out of 20 points. In addition, the climate of your new home will give you the ability to grow food year-round, 12 X-Factor points. Overall, you get 60 out of 100 points. You have 9 months initial survival time.
I think it's great to get an assessment for a starter because it's a mile marker for us. We realize that we're on the journey to be prepared. I know I'm not the ultimate prepper, and I need to go get trained and get skilled and do these things so that my family can be prepared.
Just wanted to shoot you a quick update. As you know, it's the middle of winter, difficult to get much done unless you've moved to Costa Rica. So we're super excited to be here. It's like perpetual spring year-round. We've been in the house here a few weeks, starting up a homestead. Come on with us, va conmigo, and we'll show you what we've been doing. First, we've got over 60 fruit trees on the property. We have lemon trees, mango trees, banana trees, apple trees, orange trees. We even have some trees we haven't identified yet. Over here, we're going to be building a new chicken coop. We're going to be growing chickens for eggs as well as for meat. Our kids are adapting really well to Costa Rica. They're learning Spanish, they got new friends, new adventure, and they're swinging from trees like monkeys.
In spite of the recent recession and European debt crisis, most economists believe a near-term depression is unlikely, and the odds of a global collapse that would result in a severe breakdown of society are remote.